Kofi Annan, former UN Secretary-General, has proved to be extremely persistent in his efforts to bring peace to Kenya. After last December's elections, violence broke out between supporters of the President, Mwai Kibaki, and followers of Raila Odinga, who believes that he was cheated of victory. Painstakingly, Kofi Annan got the two men to agree to share power, and he urged all Kenyans to put aside their differences.
The job of national reconciliation and national reconstruction is not for the leaders alone. It must be carried out in every neighborhood, village, hamlet of the nation.
The agreement is that Kibaki will be president and Odinga will be prime minister. The two men had a similar arrangement after the last elections. The New Deal was endorsed last month by Kenya's parliament. But will the peace hold? I asked Kenyan journalist Sierra Gillani if this really was the end of the problem.
For now, there's a lot of hope in the country that this is the end of the problem. I would be the wrong person to tell whether it's the end of the problem or not, because the solution actually lies in the two leaders, that is President Mwai Kibaki and opposition leader Raila Odinga. But Kenyans are now going on with their lives with a lot of hope, and neighbors who could not see eye to eye talking, families that had either been broken up because people were from different ethnic communities actually getting back to talk to each other. People are frequenting their favorite social outlets, and the country looks upbeat, and we are actually being told that the economy could get back on track.
Do Raila Odinga and President Kibaki, do they actually get on personally at all?
They used to get on personally as friends for a long time until the first breakup, when the first coalition, the National Rainbow Coalition, did not work. And so it's only now again when Kofi Annan came in that they started seeing eye to eye. For how long that will happen, we do not know. But when you look at the two men, the body language has been showing a lot of genuineness between the two men and how they have been dealing with each other. So for now, everything is fine, and they look like they're getting along. They're actually meeting without the presence of mediators or the presence of any other members of their parties being there.
That was Sierra Gillani in Nairobi. We're going now to Mauritius and the ceremonial laying of the foundation stone for a sparkling new home for the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation. Late last month, in a large white marquee in Mocha, a few kilometres outside the capital Port Louis, hundreds of invited guests watched traditional dancing, ate upmarket canopies, and listened to the guests of honour, the Chinese ambassador and the Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam, wish the project well.
Monsieur le Vice-Premier ministre, mes collègues ministres, le Lord Mayor de Port-Louis, Votre Excellence l'Ambassadeur de la République Populaire de Chine.
MBC's old building is by no means shabby. The radio has new equipment, but television is short of space, and it's all rather far from Mauritius's centres of power, the capital and the new cyber city, home to Mauritius's technological future utopia. The new MBC in Mocha will be right next door to Cyber City.
Dans le paysage d'ébène appelé à être une métropole cosmopolite. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
After the ceremony and the canopies and drinks, I asked MBC's chairman, Farid Janga Khan, how important the new building was going to be for the MBC.
Well, it is important because, when we launched the existing building, that was not meant for so many people. That was with one studio, TV studio, 150 people working. Now we have a staff of 700 people working in the same place, which is a lot. We are suffocating.
What kind of building is it going to be? Is it going to be a good building?
It's going to be a super building. It's going to be a super building, and with the help of the financial assistance of the Chinese government, we are giving the best for Mauritius.
So you're very excited about this project?
I'm excited about the project. I'm excited about what the challenge which lies before us.
It's one thing to have a brand new building, but do you think the programs are going to improve because of the building?
Well, you see, when you do a building, I think content is the most important. It's not the building. It's not the equipment. You need people who are dedicated to their job. You cannot just take people who just want to join the embassy. You need professionals. You need trained people. And in our case, we are launching the laying of foundation stone today. 200 people or 200 of our staff are already trained, fully trained for the digital process. That means we have this in mind. We have to deliver in quality so that, you know, there's no hitch, there's no problem by the time we will use the building here.
The journalists are all very enthusiastic about coming here, but they also say what we also need is a bit more freedom.
You see, when you talk about freedom, you must not forget, you know, this is a public broadcasting service. I, as chairperson, have cautioned the news department many times because there has been question in Parliament. I've asked them to be fair. You must not minimize the importance of the opposition. They must have a fair chance, but you cannot also neglect what government is doing.
Yes.
If they have a good program, if they are working in the interest of the country, how can you stay quiet and not tell to the nation widely what government is doing?
But the argument is that, you know, the MBC is there to serve the people, not necessarily to serve the government.
No, we serve the people. We serve the people. But as I said, you know, when there are activities which are being run by government, it's our duty as well, you know, to inform people. News is news, wherever it is.
And will you defend the rights of journalists at NBC to tell the truth?
NBC, you're talking about NBC.
Yeah.
As chairperson, this is what I do almost every day.
Yeah.
I fight with them when I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I am on the phone all the time when I'm not happy. I watch all the news because this is part of my responsibility. I have to see that justice is done, you know, and I'm happy. There may be sometimes I have to confess also, everything is not perfect, but whatever we can do, the board, the chairperson must see to, the director must see to it that there's justice, that news is fair and accurate, you know.
I mean, will you defend the journalists if they get into trouble?
Well, it depends when you mean defend, you know, they are part of my staff. But if they're at fault, how can I defend somebody who is committing something which is not good for my institution and for the government?
This building, when will it be finished?
In less than 2 years' time. In less than 2 years' time, the Chinese people, they work 24 hours round the clock.
Some people think it's a bit ironic that the Chinese are behind this because the Chinese don't exactly believe in free broadcasting.
No, it depends, you know. I cannot put an opinion on what you are saying. I don't live in China, but I do follow what is happening, you know. You know, it's a large sum of money that we have to spend on this building. And the Chinese government at the moment, not only for Mauritius, all over Africa, they want to penetrate Africa. And we have had long ties, you know, with the Chinese government, and they have the money, and we are taking advantage because we have been negotiating for almost 2 years now, and this is becoming effective. And we are not the only country which is taking advantage of the revolution which is happening in China. So it's a, you know, a low interest rate, long term for repayment. So I'm a happy chairman.
That was the chairman of the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation, Farid Janga Khan.